Introduction to Roborigger AR models with no standby switch, AR10 and AR15-001 to 005 units. This video covers the basics of Roborigger. Pre-check and startup. Connecting the remote control. Calibration and test functionality. Indicator warning lights. Remote control handover between two operators. Shutdown procedure. Pre-check and startup. All rigging equipment to be suitable for service and as per lift plan. Make sure there is no upwards load on the swivel. Spin swivel and ensure it is free and runs smoothly with nothing loose or noisy. Turn off main isolator and disconnect charging cable. Pull out emergency stop on Roborigger machine. If it has been pushed in, turn main isolator on. It is necessary to cycle power off for 10 seconds and then switch on, as this initiates calibration and internal health checks. If you don't cycle the power, Roborigger will use an old calibration which is possibly not accurate. The system now initializes and the red flashing light turns off after 1-2 minutes. Connect remote control and check charge status of both Roborigger and remote control. Check that load reading is not greater than 0.2 ton when unit is on the ground. Check indicator warning lights. Blue indicator light should be flashing until the remote control is connected. Look for damage and check for any loose nuts or bolts. Ensure mesh guards are in place and secure. Look for leaking coolant. Green or red puddle on the ground. Clean camera lens underneath. Inspect hook and keepers, safety latches. Keepers to work smoothly and spring back. Check by hook or tree hook swings on support pin. Check pivot bolt and nut are secure and that cotter pin is in place. Ensure radios are working. Communication with other Roborigger operators. If connected to the crane, make sure there is no upwards load on the swivel when switched from standby to run, as this will prevent the unit from calibrating. Slow rotation will be observed if unit is not calibrated. The isolator should be in the on position to operate and charge Roborigger. Connecting the remote control. 1. Release the remote stop button, red button, to the out position. 2. Press and hold the two connect buttons, buttons 5 and 6, on the remote control simultaneously for at least 3 seconds until the remote control beeps. The screen will display rotate freely mode. 3. Check load cell, remote control, and Roborigger battery levels. The remote control shall have a minimum of 2 bars of battery charge at the start of the task. If 1 bar of charge, then place the remote control on charge. 4. Install safety clips so there is less chance of accidentally engaging the emergency stop button. Roborigger can supply charging cables that allow the remote to be charged from a power bank whilst in use. Calibrating and test functionality. 1. Lift Roborigger 1 meter off the ground. 2. Manually rotate the unit 360 degrees by hand. Blue light must go solid, indicating that there is a remote control connected and it has completed calibration. 3. Test functions. I set remote control to hold heading and rotate clockwise and anticlockwise using the remote. 2. Leave in hold heading and confirm there is no observable drift. If it rotates slowly, lower to ground, cycle power, ensure there is no load on the lift sling, wait at least 10 seconds and then lift off ground in a single motion. Note: the remote control will disconnect while doing this process. You will need to reconnect. If Roborigger is left half lifted off the ground, it can confuse the calibration routine. If Roborigger is not rotating, no power to flywheel, emergency stop button not pulled out. Indicator warning lights. Red flashing. Management computer booting or not responding. Can continue using Roborigger but data will not be recorded. Red on. System fault detected. Must stop using Roborigger, place on the ground and report. Blue flashing. Roborigger isolator on and in run mode, remote control is not connected. For models with no standby switch, 360-degree calibration is not completed. Blue on solid. Roborigger is on a run mode and the remote control is connected. For models with no standby switch, 360-degree calibration is completed. Amber off. Roborigger is in rotate freely mode. Amber on. Hold heading mode is activated. There is also an indicator warning lights under the hook. Remote control handover. Roborigger is normally operated using two remotes, one with a Roborigger operator at the loading location and another Roborigger operator at unloading location. Only one remote control can be connected to Roborigger at a time. The first Roborigger operator gets the load oriented and has Roborigger in hold heading mode. The first Roborigger operator can now advise crane operator and other Roborigger operator that they are disconnecting. Press disconnect button 6 until remote control disconnects. This may take up to 5 seconds. The remote control will then reboot ready to reconnect. The second Roborigger operator can now connect to Roborigger by pressing both connect buttons together, 5+6, until their remote control beeps and either the hold heading or rotate freely red LED lights up. Roborigger stays in the current mode, e.g. hold heading, when control is handed over or if control is lost because Roborigger is out of range. Range is approximately 100 to 150 meters. Warning: it is bad practice to just let Roborigger get out of range such that it loses signal and disconnects. The crane operator and Roborigger operator may still believe the other Roborigger has control. There is also a 5+ second period when the remote tries to regain the signal and other Roborigger operator cannot connect in this period. Always disconnect using button 6 before the signal is lost and advise the crane operator and other Roborigger operator. Don't operate remote controls with low battery levels. If a remote control runs out of charge, another remote control cannot connect to Roborigger. Refer to the operator's manual for more information. Shutdown procedure. Lower Roborigger onto the pallet or ground, ensure Roborigger is stable. Disconnect the remote control, hold button 6 until the remote control beeps. Release the safety clip and push in the remote stop button. Ensure Roborigger is on the ground before doing this. Leave the isolator switch in the on position. Charge Roborigger and the remote controls. Warning: always shut down power when Roborigger is on the ground unless flywheel speed is near zero. Under the hood. Swivel. Motor controller. Battery charger. This is one of the batteries. Emergency stop. Run. Standby switch. Charging port. Radiator. Load cell. One antenna at the top and one at the bottom. Roborigger. Making lifting operations safer and more efficient.